I call to order the hearing of Subcommittee I on both our Civil Service Commission as well as the Career Executive Service Board budget. So this is in consideration of JA 2022. And I'd like to call on our subcommittee secretary, Attorney Dana Alberto, to please recognize all the resource persons and all the executives in charge.
Good morning. The Committee on Finance, Subcommittee I would like to acknowledge the presence of our distinguished guests, namely Director Attorney Helene Grace T. Ramos.
May I urge, simply because it's extremely difficult to talk to outer space, may I request, please, that you put on your video so that I can recognize you. Sorry. Thank you.
We also have from CSC.
Sorry, and raise your right hand when your name's called so magkakakilala tayo, please.
Chairperson Alicia De La Rosa Bala. Head Executive Assistant Bernard G. Jimenez. Commissioner Eileen Lourdes Elizada. Director.
I'm sorry, Dana. Who was Jimenez? Sorry. Somebody Jimenez. Sorry, hindi na, nobody.
Bernard G. Jimenez.
There's no one. Jimenez.
Yes, Chair.
Oh, there you are. It's really dark. I'm sorry, I can't see very well. Thank you. Next.
Commissioner Eileen Lourdes Elizada.
Okay. Please put your video on, Mr. Jimenez, please. Okay, sino yon? Yeah, okay. Commissioner Lizada, Chairperson Bala, Mr. Jimenez, who's disappeared once again. Yes? Who is it?
Director Enrico P. Lopez.
You're the director of... Can you identify the office, please?
Good morning, Madam Senator. I'm Director Lopez po, the Chief of Staff of Commissioner Lizada.
Yes, you have no video?
I'm trying to download it in my phone pa po.
Okay.
Senator, sorry.
All right, okay. Your name's marked in the little box anyway. Next.
Also from Office of Commissioner Lizada, Mr. Julian L. Lopez.
Good morning po, Senator.
Sorry, your voice is, oh, there we go. Okay.
Hello, good morning po. I am the Executive Assistant 6 po of the Office of Commissioner Lizada.
Okay.
From Office of Commissioner Lizada, Ms. Maridith O. Canoy.
Okay, I think to save time, because there are so many hearings, Dana, let's just call the heads of offices, please.
Okay, ma'am.
The staff will only be required to present themselves when there additional information from them is required.
Okay, from Office for Strategy Management, Director Helene Grace T. Ramos.
That's still civil service or CESO?
Civil Service pa po, ma'am.
Okay.
Good morning, Senator. Good morning, Chair.
From Civil Service Institute, Director Tina Catherine Lim Sison.
Sino na? There we go.
From Human Resources Relations Office, Director Crunimar Antonio D. Escudero II.
Sino yun? Yeah. I don't think there's anyone who's who's appeared.
Director Escudero II po. There po.
Oh, there we go. Pero yung kanina?
Ma'am, nag-raise naman po ng hand si Director Lim Sison po.
Pasensya, hindi ko nakikita eh. Okay. Yung sa institute, okay. Okay, carry on.
Also from Human Resource Relations, Chief PS, Regine Argula.
Okay.
From Commission Secretariat and Liaison Office, Acting Director Catherine Limare Del Moro.
Good morning, Madam Senator.
Good morning.
From Career Executive Service Board na po, ma'am.
Okay.
Miss Maria Marcy Cosare Ballesteros po.
Yep.
Mr. Kirk Matthew V. Alfante.
Good morning, ma'am.
Where are you? Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Miss Jocelyn P. La Chica.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay.
Mr. Ryan L. Odulio.
Good morning. Good morning.
Sorry.
And Miss Marian Camille C. Ricalde.
Okay. Yeah.
That will be all po, ma'am.
Yes, thank you very much, and thank you to our resource persons for attending this morning's hearing in Subcommittee of Finance number or letter I. So, are there any presentations? Let's keep it short. We have 10 o'clock, 10:30, and 11 o'clock, and so on. It's pretty crowded in the next couple of weeks, so I enjoin you to keep your presentation short and to the point. Is the civil service or the career group going to present anything as to the highlights of their budget, or do we proceed to the salient points that the chair wants to query? May PowerPoint po ba kayo? Rina, may PowerPoint ba?
I
Or
know
may
We will share the screen. We will share our presentation, Your Honor. Would that be okay with you?
Yes, yes, provided you keep it short and quick. Okay.
Okay. So siguro
Because
we
there's
will
very little change from last year's budget, and it's
Yes.
pretty much a repeat of the last 2 years.
Yes, Your Honor. So we will go straight to the budget proposal for 2022.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Your Honor, this is our budget proposal for 2022 vis-a-vis the approved NEP by DBM. We propose a total of 2.4 billion, but the actual recommendation by DBM is 1.8 billion,
That's
or
right.
less by 30%. Okay, now let's go to the breakdown, Director Grace, our budget. Okay. So this is a comparison of our budget in 2021 vis-a-vis 2022. So if you would note, Your Honor, in 2021, our budget approved was 1.7 billion, whereas in 2022, the budget is 1.8, or there is an increase of 5.83%. Okay. So if you look at the total budget of the Civil Service Commission as compared to the overall total of 5 trillion national budget, ours is 0.0377% of the total amount. Okay. So these are the programs that will be funded out of the budget that was allocated to us. One, under the Civil Service Human Resource Governance Program, it would amount to 62.498, which will comprise one, Civil Service HR Policy and Information Management Subprogram. And then next, these are the components of the different output indicators that we've set that would include Prime HRM system, and then the request for authenticated copies of requested records. And then next, the second component, Your Honor, is about the public assistance program. So this is where we referring to the complaints or the data that we receive from our contact center ng bayan. And then the second component or the sub-program under our plans and programs for the year 2022 is the Civil Service Professionalization and Workplace Cooperation Program. Under this is the Civil Service Professionalization Program, which would cost for all the components would be 34.7 million. Okay, next. Grace. Okay, so the next component under this would be Director Grace. Can you? This one is the Civil Service Capability Building sub-program. So this will be pertaining to the learning and development that the Commission is administering for the civil servants. Okay, next. And then the third is the Public Sector Unionism sub-program. So this is about the number of agencies with accredited sector union, and those agencies with the accredited public sector unions with collective negotiation agreements. Under the Administrative Justice Program, Your Honor, this would cost us 7.5 million. That would this is where the functions of the quasi-judicial is being carried out. So the total MOE operations is 104.7. Okay, next. So just to share with you, Your Honor, about our significant accomplishments of the CSC in fiscal year 2020, out of the 19 indicators, there were 12 indicators that were met or even exceeded the targets. And there were 7 indicators that were unmet during the period of the COVID-19 incidents. Okay, now let's go to, okay, i-forward mo na lang to make it short. Okay. Now, for 2021, if you would note, Your Honor, these are the accomplishments for the period January to June 2021. So there's still items that are not yet available, the data are not yet available, but in terms of the number of users utilizing data for policy, we have a number of agencies using our data for their own policy and program. And then when it comes to the number of agencies meeting the 4 human resource areas will be awarded Prime HRM Bronze Level Award. There were only 16, and this is because we have been limited, minimized mobility in providing technical assistance to our agency partners.
Okay.
And then these are the numbers of agencies that we have assisted. And then that we are still updating, consolidating the inputs of our local stakeholders, like the national government agencies, local government units, and the rest, for the updating of the government human resource inventory. Okay. So these are the accomplishments. And then when it comes to the public assistance sub-program, if you would note, Your Honor, out of the received complaints from our end, we were able to resolve 90%. And then for complaints referral rate to all the concerned agencies, we have said that we will be able to accomplish by then for 2022. And hopefully it should be 100%. But this year, for 2022, it would only be for baseline setting. Okay, next. And this is about the Civil Service Professionalization Program. So for the first semester, we have noted that the number of eligibles observed in the government using the certificate of eligibility for the first time, there are about 5,930. And then the number of percentage of appointment acted upon over appointments received, it's 90%. And the Civil Service Professionalization Program, if you would note, Your Honor, we were only able to administer to 4,269 examinees this year. And we have not conducted for the year the number of civil service examinations, but we have conducted it in July. Okay.
Can you please clarify once again how many you've you've conducted exams or you haven't conducted exams? I'm a little bit confused by the report.
Okay. During the first semester, Your Honor, we have not conducted any exams in 2021. Instead, we were able to conduct it in July 2021. Okay, when it comes to the civil service
So you're saying
capability
that we
building
have
program,
an entire year of no intake?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
We had a whole year na walang intake kasi hindi kayo nag-exam last year.
Yes, last year, Your Honor, we were only able to conduct the foreign service officers exams, but that was conducted prior to the declaration of this the state of public health emergency.
You
And
have
all
not
the
you have not attempted to do any online exams as other agencies have.
Your Honor, we are developing right now the system this year. We have started
We're coming into 2
developing the
years.
system. Yeah, we
Coming into
are
2 years.
now.
Why is it taking so long? You just go online, di ba? Exam lang naman yan, hindi naman on the job training.
Your Honor, what we have implemented and we are continuing is the computerized examinations, but it's limited to a number. But what we wanted, this online is something that we are envisioning that any examinee can take the exams anywhere, any place, Your Honor.
Yes, I understand, but we're coming into 2 years. You've already lost the intake for 1 year. You know that we're sorely needing teachers, for example, and other employees. Maybe we can ratchet up a bit the effort to automate and digitize these exams.
Yes, Your Honor. We hope that we will be able to start implementing it by early next year.
I think that was the same promise I heard last year, sorry. But I do recall a similar discussion in the last budget hearing.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor. There's some difficulties that we had to attend to because we need to identify the appropriate service provider for the purpose in the development of the system, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. And then the Civil Service Capability Building Program, we have also conducted the training programs using virtual platform. And we are still awaiting later on the report of the agencies about the application of their learning levels. Okay. Next. When it comes to the public sector unionism, Your Honor, if you would note, there were only about 3 that were submitted to us for resolution when it comes to disputes between management and the public sector union. And we were able to accomplish 1,136 when it comes to accredited public sector unions, and there are about 1,246 with CNAs. So when it comes to the administrative justice program, Your Honor, our disposition rate is 54% for the first semester. When we speak of administrative case resolution or disposition rate, it means the cases promulgated within the year over the total cases received. Yeah. Yes, sir. And then for case resolution rate, this is the case resolved within the year from date of
Those who
filing.
are not speaking will please turn off their audio. Thank you. All right. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. Yes. Okay. Yes, we can read that. That's fine.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. So we
Okay.
would like to share with you some of our significant accomplishments, if you wish, Your Honor.
Yes, very quickly, please.
Okay. One, we during the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, Your Honor, we have issued a relevant policies to ensure balance between welfare and productivity in the government amidst the pandemic. Just to say some of the highlights is about the adoption of alternative work arrangements, and then we also issued the guidelines on the use of leave credits for absences due to self-quarantine and or treatment relative to the coronavirus disease. And then we also issued guidelines on the filing and submission of the revised statement of assets for the year 2020, among others, Your Honor.
Yes,
So we
thank
have issued
Yes.
and okay,
Yeah, I think
yes,
quite a few
okay, next.
things were postponed, no?
Okay, yes, Your Honor. And then we have now started transforming our manual services into ICT-enabled processes to ensure business continuity, Your Honor. Okay, next. Okay, next. And then by mid-2020, as I've said, Your Honor, we have already converted its face-to-face training programs or modules into webinar and or e-learning. So we use different IT-based technology. And then we also developed the Philippine Talent Management Strategy, which will future-proof the Philippine Civil Service to transform the bureaucracy into smart organizations operated by future-ready leaders and workforce. So we continue to do this, Your Honor, the conduct of the Public Service Values Program, the Prime HRM, and we are in the early stages of developing a learning and development plan for the entire bureaucracy. And as mentioned earlier, we also have adopted the adoption of online platforms, and we are now working on the adoption of an integrated human resources information system for the bureaucracy. Okay. So this is our record, Your Honor, the number of received from our contact center ng bayan. And if you would note that our resolution rate from January 2020 to June 2021 is 97%. And so this is, and then for 2021, it's 99%. So these are the common or the top five complaints that are received. Yeah. So,
Sorry,
okay.
thank you. Okay.
Yes. Next. So we also reflected here, Your Honor, the top 10 agencies that are most number of complaints.
Yes, may I have a copy of this? Thank you. This slide especially. Or maybe I just
Yes.
take a screenshot. Sige, okay lang.
Okay, yes, please.
Yan yung top
Thank you
10
po.
natin na rinereklamo.
Opo.
Okay.
Ay, opo.
Okay, got it. Thank
Okay.
you. Next.
Okay. Next. We would like to provide you an update of the status of our conduct examinations for fiscal year 2021. Just to repeat, Your Honor, that in 2020, we only have one exams, and that was the FSO. This is for
I
the...
have, sorry, I'm going a little bit ahead of you. You were able to conduct computerized exams, but why do you have to
Yes.
stop during the state of emergency? Kung computerized naman siya, mas lalong tuloy-tuloy dapat.
Because, Your Honor, the examinees should come to the regional office. And so because of the different quarantine declarations of the different local government units.
Anong klaseng computerized po yun kung hindi naman virtual? Ba't pupunta pa dun sa bed?
Your Honor, the one that we have developed earlier, even before the pandemic, is computerized examinations where the examinees would come in a facility in our office, and they will take the exams right there and then.
Yeah,
So this
that's
is
hardly
different.
good enough. So, are you not finally going to put all these exams online?
Yes, exactly what we are doing right now, Your Honor. We are now in the process.
Dalawang taon na we haven't moved forward on
yes.
this. We've had this exact same discussion last year.
Yes, Your Honor. We understand, but we had to identify the appropriate vendors that will meet our requirements, Your Honor, for the purpose. And just to let you know that right now, they're already we have developed already the terms of reference, and they are our
But if
bids
you're
and
at the
awards
level of,
committee.
kung nasa level pa lang kayo ng TOR, kailan pa yan ma-i-implement?
As I've said, Your Honor, our team is already finalizing it, and hopefully we should be able to discuss this with the ICT, because we also
Yes,
negotiate.
but
We
having
also
said that, do we not, this is of utmost urgency, as you know, there
Yes.
are thousands upon thousands of unfilled plantilla positions, and yet you are not qualifying anyone for a long, long period under the pandemic. So I
Okay.
need a schedule.
Okay.
Kung nasa
Yes, Your
board pa
Honor.
yan, nasa discussion pa sa DICT, kailan pa
Oo.
natin maaasahan yan? Baka yung unfilled positions natin at unqualified, kawawa naman yung ating mga graduates, kailanman hindi na makakapasok sa gobyerno.
Okay. Yes. We're taking note of your concern,
Please
Your
submit a
Honor, and we will
schedule.
fast track. Yes. Based on our schedule, hopefully we should be able to finish it, the development of the system, um, within the year. May I request our director, Your Honor, of
No,
the examinations
I'll
to
take
give us
it
the
on
update?
face value that it's going to be within the year. We just need to speed it up a little bit because everyone else has managed to do it in fairly quick periods, and I don't think there's anything specifically complicated. This is a fairly
Okay, fantastic.
straightforward operation, di ba? Exam lang naman yan eh. Wala namang magulong OJT, wala namang komplikadong assistance, wala naman
Right.
lab work.
Mm-mm. Okay. Your Honor, I was informed by our director that first semester, we will be able to conduct the online examinations using the facility of those agencies that would have already that facility to provide an online examination. As I've said, Your Honor,
Yeah,
the
with all due
online
respect,
examination that we're looking at,
with all due
what
respect,
we're,
Madam Chairperson, the
yes,
school year has
yes.
moved relentlessly. What do you mean by first semester?
No, I said the first quarter, Your Honor, by next year, we will already be conducting an online examination.
Okay, I misunderstood. I'm sorry. So
Yeah,
first
okay,
quarter
okay.
2022, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And these are all the exams or only FSC and the others?
Okay. For 2021, Your Honor, we will be conducting, we have conducted the first PPT in last July 18, 2021.
Ano yun?
And
What's
most of
PPT?
this is the pen and paper exams, Your Honor.
Kaya nga, no,
Actual.
we're not concerned about those. We're much more concerned about digitizing. This is not
Yes, Your Honor. But just to let you know, Your Honor, that we conducted last July, which this is an agency-based request to accommodate the,
okay.
the status of the JOs and the COS in the government, including the Senate, Your Honor.
Yes, but these are very, very stopgap and minimal efforts. We are really looking
Yes.
for a long-term and large-scale solution.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay. So we still continue to do it in different
Okay.
regional offices to conduct. Okay, Your Honor. And then next. Okay. So as mentioned earlier, this is one of the adjustments that we made. And as you have said, these are stopgaps. I agree with you. And so we accommodated agents' request for the conduct of exams. especially in the national capital region, where a total of 9,073 examinees that were able to get or to take the exams.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Is that all?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
So this is just to let you know that we are also certified. We maintained our ISO 9001:2015 standards.
Okay. But no, that's all.
Mm-mm.
Hindi pa kayo
Okay.
nag-expand ng ISO, yung 6 na proseso lamang, hindi yung top to bottom ng CSE.
Ito po yung nag-expand na po kami actually, Your Honor,
Pero hindi pa
for
yung
the 2015.
okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yung standard for 2015 po.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. As we also have the career board today, so I'd like to know if you have a presentation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Otherwise, as I said, we are actually quite familiar with your budgets. They're not much different from the last 2 years.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Honorable Senator Amy Marcos, Honorable Chairperson Alicia De La Rosa Bala, our esteemed officials, good morning. The Career Executive Service Board is proposing its budget for 2022 in the amount of 73,130,000. With this budget, the CSB shall carry out its mandate vested in us by the Presidential Decree Number 1 Series of 1972 to form a continuing pool of well-selected development-oriented managers who shall manage competent and faithful service. It is in line with the PREXI. The CESB's budget is geared towards strengthening the merit and fitness system for career service officers and sustaining the pool of globally competitive CESOs. The proposed budget will realize the Duterte administration's goals, objectives, and strategies by implementing CESB's key programs such as 1. Administration of the 4-stage CES eligibility and processing of appointment for CES ranks. 2. Career development and conduct of competency-based trainings. Management and performance evaluation system for CS incumbents. Formulation, implementation, and monitoring of policies on the CES and general administration support. For your information, Your Honor, our budget for 2022 is broken down as follows. It's actually compared to the previous budget, it is lower by 16.5 million or 18.41% than the 2021 current appropriations of 89.63 million and lower by 3.72 million or 4.84% than the 2022 original proposal. In breaking down the changes per item, the budget for personal services went down by 1.4 million or 4.52%. Our MOOE also went down by 5.271 million or 11.25%.
Yes, may I just quickly ask, Ms. Ballesteros, Director Ballesteros, yung PS, paano babayaran yung mga empleyado kapag binawasan ganyan? Or are these casuals and job orders and so on?
Actually, ma'am, this is a lower budget because we still are filling up some of our vacant positions. Right now, we have filling up 14 vacant positions still. So once they are filled up, we are going to request for the DBM for the budget for the PS.
No, I'm saying that you have a 5% decrease in PS and we are concerned that no jobs be lost in government. What does this mean? Hindi ninyo babayaran yung JO, yung casual, paano ba yan? Ba't nagkaganyan? Sabi ng DBM. Nung binawasan nila, di syempre babayaran pa rin yung tauhan, di ba?
We are paying our warm bodies who are now working with us, but ang constitution po ng less budget is because we're still filling up. We're still about to fill up the vacant
This
positions.
refers to previously unfilled positions.
Yes, opo.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Walang matatanggal,
Wala pong matatanggal. We only have 4 contract of service and they're all paid regularly.
Kaya nga eh. Okay, iilan lang kayo magtatanggalan pa.
Hindi po.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, we are fast tracking the filling up, screening, selection, and filling up of these vacant positions, Madam.
Thank you.
So just to continue po, the capital outlay is also reduced by 9.74 million, making
That's
it only
okay.
32,000.
Thank you. We've been through this. That's fine.
Okay.
What's clear is that your budget has been deducted, no? So if there are any priority projects or programs that you would like to request restitution, we're happy to hear it, provided you can help us justify it in plenary and in the committee debates.
We are fine, Your Honor, because the CESB has adapted very well in migrating our public service delivery into the digital landscape. And will
That's right.
maximize
I understand that you've digitized a significant amount of your operations.
Most of our trainings are already online, Madam, Your Honor.
Okay. Has that resulted in a decrease in the number of applicants and students and so on?
No, Your Honor. In fact, through the online system or using the online platform, we are getting more participants by the thousands, by the hundreds, compared to the face-to-face conferences, trainings before the pandemic.
There's just a curious indicator at the bottom of this slide. You have more men than women, when as a general rule in government, there are so many women. To what do you account this unusual statistic?
Ma'am, this is just the actual gender disaggregation of our current career service officials and eligibles.
No, my question is, are we saying that there are more guys in the third level and all the women are underlings?
Yes, but just slightly higher than women, Madam, Your Honor.
It's not really slight, it's 15%.
Hopefully, we will be able to increase that because more of our examinees, our candidates are going through validation and performance panel interview. More and more of them are women. So we are hoping that by the end of their stages, we will be able to increase the number of women in the career service, Your Honor.
Yes, we count on the executive director as well as other women in the bureaucracy, in the management and third levels of the bureaucracy, to encourage other women to climb up the ladder of this government. No?
Yes,
I
Your
think it's
Honor.
our duty.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, so we can proceed na po, with the budget proposal. So our budget will cover the 2,681 third level positions in the career executive service, which includes the undersecretaries, assistant secretaries, bureau directors, assistant bureau directors, department service chief, and other executive positions of equivalent rank as may be classified by the Career Executive Service Board. So just to give you an idea, our budget proposal, 43% of that goes to our personal services, and 57% goes to our MOE, and 0.1% is for capital outlay. This is because our MOE, 41.56 million, we support the major thrusts and programs, broken down as follows. We commit in providing the government, particularly the CS, with well-selected leaders by conducting written examination, assessment center, validation of performance, interview activities, and development and enhancement of our assessment materials and test instruments with a total of 9 million. And then we had 6.8 million to help raise the level of managerial competence in the CES, developing a deeper sense of commitment, honesty, and integrity among the CS officials by enhancing the overall HRD program of the CSB to ensure more responsive, purposive, lifelong learning for HR intervention programs by conducting our 6 leadership and management proficiency program courses, like 3 Saldiwa for minimum of 90 officials and 3 IGABay for minimum of 90 officials. It also includes, we also commit to conducting the following training programs: 3 CES Leadership Conclave, 1 CES Public Leader Summit, 4 quarterly Human Resource Managers Fellowship Meetings, 2 Project Paglaog, and 1
We're assuming that these are all digital. You're all in the webinar space. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay.
Next slide, please. So we also commit to strengthen the accreditation and equivalency system for executive leadership and capacity building program by active engagement with institutional training partners for development and conduct of accredited training programs, active promotion and marketing of accredited courses, and continuous processing of applications for institutional individual course program accreditation. Our MOE also consists of 6.2 million, by which we hope to institutionalize and implement the CES Performance Evaluation System, or CESPES, in all departments and agencies to support productivity and promote the morale and welfare of our CESOs and eligibles by administering enhanced CESPES to CES officials and non-national government agencies and GOCCs, timely process the CESPES results, and provide performance reports to concerned officials and agency heads. And these are all done online, Your Honor.
Okay.
So we also commit to strengthen the Gawad CES Presidential Award, review and improve the mechanics of the criteria, recruit trained, highly competent field validators, evaluate, validate the nominations, and follow through the performance of previous winners, intensify the campaign for public awareness in the program, administer the recognition programs like CS Very Innovative Person, Outstanding Cost-Effective Officer Awards.
Okay.
We also commit to institutionalize and strengthen public and stakeholder support for the CS program by continuously conducting our CS strategic conversations at the agency level.
Yes, since I'm the only senator here, is this much longer? Because I've actually read all this per your submissions.
Okay. Next slide, please. So it also includes our enhancement of the delivery, previous slide, service through information technology, creating our web services, improving the administration support, finance through operation system, maintenance of our online services such as CESB website, CESPES, CESB financial management and property management inventory, and development of systems for mobile applications such as computerized test written examination, eligibility, rank
So
tracking.
how many examinees have undertaken the online exams?
Since we were last
Kailan na kayo? I mean, how many exams have there been? How many examinees have actually?
for this year, Your Honor, since because during the pandemic, the examination was suspended, but in February we requested for clearance and approval of the IATF, but we got the approval last May 13th.
I'm just asking for a number, dear. Nakailang
Okay.
examine na kayo? Kasi sabi ninyo na computerize na ninyo. How many people took it?
We are all actually now conducting a blended written exam and assessment center. So as of date, since the approval of the IATF of our exam, resumption of our exams, we conducted exams for 12
So far,
assessments.
28 participants pa lamang?
Because the approved modality of our examination was a scaled down.
When you've had the approval since July or February, and since then you've had 28 examinees. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, because the approved modality by the IATF is a scaled down examination with only 10 examinees for the written exam per conduct. And
Yes, but I thought it's online. So if it's online, kahit saan pwedeng kukunin yan, ano?
No, it's blended, ma'am. It's not purely online because we have tried, but we have studied the prospect of doing the online, but because of integrity issues, of the high risk of leakages and integrity of the examination, we pursued first with the blended online, conducting our
I'm just
exam in the resource center of the Career Executive Service Board.
Yeah, no, I'm asking because I think some of the professional regulatory bodies have actually managed to go online, and the security issues are easily overtaken. We're not talking about cyber banking here.
Ma'am, but the PRC, I think, is still face to face.
Some of it is, yes, but the other bodies have actually undertaken very successfully digital exams.
Yes.
In any case, how
We
much
are going towards that. We are still
much of your
studying. That is
blended
part of
exam?
our budget.
I'm sorry, how much of the so-called blended exam is actually digital and how much is manual?
The examinees come to the resource center in our
Same as the
facility.
civil service, as Chairman Pala was saying earlier.
But they are e-proctored, Your Honor. They are in individual examinees room, monitored by CCTV, and test instructions are given to the public address system and through the Zoom platform. So they can ask questions from the proctor to the Zoom. So we maintain a contactless conduct of the exam. That's, Your Honor. That's the way in your slide, and you can see that they are in their individual rooms.
I see. Pero ang konti lang nila, no? 28 pa lang. Is that, what would that have been if it weren't the pandemic?
We normally conduct national examinations.
Kaya nga, how many would that have been? Kasi wala naman nung 2020, tapos ngayon 28
1,000 a
na.
year. Before the pandemic, Your Honor, we were conducting one average of 1,000 a year.
Kaya nga, so what are you going to do with all those hundreds?
We are now increasing the frequency of our conduct, but we are limited with the modality that was approved to us by the IATF with a scaled down number, because we were still in the when we proposed that examination, we were still in the ECQ.
No, the real fear here, of course, is the same for both CESO as well as the civil service, that even as government grows larger and is endowed with ever more powers and a bigger budget, we will have no employees to implement all these different functions that are now expected of the government during the pandemic. So this is the real fear, and I am hopeful that both offices will be more aggressive in their effort to fill up all these positions and provide the best governance we can in this emergency situation.
Yeah, we are addressing that, Your Honor, because we still have so
28
many.
out of what should have been 1,000 is a miserable number.
But we are still processing. There's the candidates for CES eligibility are also going not only written exam and assessment center. So we continuously process the candidates for performance validation and panel interview. That's why we are able to churn out significant number of CESOs and eligibles during the year, even during the pandemic. So the two stages of examination and assessment center are
Employees are CESO eligible today? No, just figuring out how many are actually eligible as of today. I just need a number. If you don't have it available, please submit. And how many of them are actually employed by government in adequate and appropriate positions?
We have now, Total TS positions, Your Honor, is as of December 31.
Ilan ang talagang seso sa buong gobyerno at saka nag-iintay pa ng trabaho?
CESOs in CES positions are 1,443, Your
I'm
Honor.
sorry, you're talking about the positions. I'm asking about the employees. I know what the positions
third
are
level,
kasi
Your
nakalista naman yan sa atin, plantilla. Pero marami naman dyan unfilled or else puro OIC. So, ilan ba talaga yung actual employees eligible? What is the universe of CESO qualified? It's okay if you can't find it or there's something wrong with the query. Please submit na lang so that we have a picture. In addition, what are the programs you're implementing to be certain that these eligible employees are in fact obtaining proper employment? At least employment suited to their qualifications and their eligibility level.
Okay, total.
Parang these are the questions that we need answered, no?
Okay, sir. Your Honor, we will
Yeah,
provide.
we're aware of the number of CESO positions. Nakalista naman yan sa bawat opisina eh. Kaso alam naman natin na marami dyan o IC lamang or remains unfilled. This in fact is the missing middle in government as well as perhaps private sector management, hindi ba? Okay?
Okay, Your Honor.
And since we already, sorry, are you
Yeah,
going to answer
just to
or
provide
we'll
you the
just wait?
data, Your Honor.
Yes.
The total number of active CESOs and eligibles, we
Okay.
have 5,585
Okay.
at this moment, Your Honor.
And then, ilan
So
sa
one
kanila
active
ang
CESO, 6, and then eligibles, we have 5,585.
Okay, tapos ilan ang nakapwesto
Ang
sa tamang
nakapwesto po ngayon are only 1,974. 1,043 CESOs and eligibles.
Come again, nalito ako. 1,000, ilan yun? Ilan sa mga eligible na 5,585 ay nakapwesto?
Okay, so ma'am, that 5,585 are active CESOs and eligibles, meaning they are in the government service.
Yeah, maliban sa kanila, are there still other eligible employees who have not been provided employment? Because you're giving exams all the time. Surely, wala kayong follow-up pag pumasa?
Actually, in our roster of 7,965, 2,378 of them have already retired from the service, Your Honor.
You're saying that every single CESO eligible is in a third level civil service position adequate to his training and capacity.
Yes, Your Honor.
Parang hindi ako naniniwala eh. I think
May I
Chairwoman
clarify?
has something to say.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Your
Pero
Honor.
mahirap kasi maniwala kasi ang dami-daming seso na nakapwesto kung saan-saan lamang. Yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay.
Chairwoman Mala, sorry.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. Just to assist, one, the numbers that Director Marcy made mention about the number of eligibles, these are all employed in government. But just to let you know that the eligibles do not belong to the third level yet. Some of them are, yes, Your Honor. Some of them are division chiefs. These are supervising SDS in the Department of Education, Your Honor. So in short, they are not yet in the category of being appointed to as director, assistant secretary, and undersecretary.
Okay.
But they are required, especially for those in the DepEd, they are required to undergo, since they are appointed by the president, so they also take the exams for the purpose.
Yes, I'm not shooting off trick questions. My concern is very, very simple, and I'm clearly not very apprised of the different levels involved. All I need to know is, are we going to have highly skilled and qualified government employees in this period of big government? Yun lang. Kasi habang may pandemya, matagal-tagal pa kasi ang recovery natin. Kinakailangan marami tayong tauhan na magagaling at talagang trained at CESO at civil service eligible. Dapat andyan silang lahat. So to the two of you, I'm really worried that rather than churning out all these highly qualified individuals for government service, we are retrenching in effect our capacity simply because we can't do the exams, we can't do the training, we've had to downscale so many of the services. So yun ang problema. By right, mas marami dapat, di ba? Kasi palaki ng palaki ang pamahalaan dahil nga dito sa pandemya. Kinakailangan na mabilis rin tayo mag-react, and we should be able to provide that talent pool of management.
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. In fact, these people, these eligibles are ready, but the positions available, as mentioned earlier, there are only about one number of positions available that will be filled up that would require them to the third level.
Yes, okay. So if perhaps Executive Director Ballesteros could provide me with some numbers, whether it's third level or even lower, yung breakdown yan. I think since we already started asking questions with the CESB, the findings made by COA made some notice of the accuracy of the cash in bank accounts for the year-end balances. Have you sorted that out with them na?
Yes, Honor. During our the exit conference of the COA last March, we have already apprised them of the action taken by the management.
Okay. So
And,
if you could,
we have
if you could,
implemented the recommendations.
great. So if you could as well, just give us a brief regarding that action taken.
Okay.
And secondly, also to provide na lang the pool, a sort of picture of the pool of third level and higher and lower areas. So makita naman natin kung sino yung mga civil service na pwedeng pagkunan ng iba't ibang ahensya dahil nakita naman natin napakahirap ng sitwasyon ngayon at obligado yung pamahalaan na gampanan lahat na halos ng kinakailangan. No? It's just been almost 2-year emergency red alert situation for all of us.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I think that's it. Executive Ballesteros, I have no further questions and move for the approval of your budget pending the submission of both those items and endorse therefore your budget to the Mother Committee of Finance and thereafter to the plenary. Thank you. And we now go to the civil service. If I may ask a few questions. Thank you. I think Executive Ballesteros, you and your staff may go so that we don't take up too much of your time. Unless you'd like to stay and help us along with the civil service questions. Okay.
Your Honor, thank you.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to ask once again the same questions that I think I have asked in the last 2 years. This is our third year running, Chairwoman Bala, and the questions of the last 2 years have persisted. The accusation has been made that government is the largest violator of ENDO, that we are in fact in government the biggest ENDO employer. Ngayon, I know that you had an office memo on in October of 2020 proposing a preference rating eligibility for our identified JPCOS. So may I know if this proposal has actually been implemented, or any action has been taken regarding the so-called government endos?
Um, thank, okay. Thank you, Your Honor. One, our ERPO submitted to the commission the plan for that veterans as we
I've
have
seen that plan.
cited.
I've seen.
Yes.
Yes, sorry, Chairwoman Bala. I've seen the plan. I've seen the
Mhm.
breakdown. 15 years and above for
Mhm.
the JO. Kawawa naman, 15 years.
Mhm.
And 10 to 15 years, my goodness. And then 5 to 10 years. Napakalupit nga ito eh. So, may ginawa na ba tayo dyan? Kasi you are referring merely to a plan.
Yes.
So, wala pa
We
nagagawa
want-
kasi planning stage pa lang po.
Meron na po siyang ni-submit, Your Honor, but after a while, we have to revisit the study done on this, and we are still getting the inputs from our office in charge of this.
Some
And
of
then
our
just to,
JOs, Chairwoman Bala, are very, very old. They've been in government for 15,
Yes.
18 years. Hindi ba dapat maawat mahabag na tayo dyan sa mga
Yes,
ito?
oo.
Wala naman. Paspasan naman natin
Yes,
ng konti. Magre-retire na yan.
Oh, one of the measures that we have done, Your Honor, is to accommodate the request of the different government agencies to conduct special exams for their JOs and COs for them to take to take the exams. And that was conducted in on July 18, Your Honor. That was the interim measure that we have done for the purpose.
Yes, but Chairwoman Bala, we're all fully aware that these special exams are going to be very few and far between. In fact, there is already a well-established precedent in place, di ba? Meron na tayong Veterans Preference Rating Eligibility. Hindi ba pwedeng gano'n na lamang? May points na lang kahit walang exam. Sa katagalan ba naman na ninilbihan sa pamahalaan? Siguro naman kilalanin naman natin yung mga yan.
Yes, Your
Kahit
Honor.
walang exam na. After all, I'm just reading from your office memo. I'm not making up something new. This came from you.
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor. With regards to the veterans' preference, it was by virtue of a law, Your Honor. But what we are trying to say is that the commission is now undertaking a study because the initial proposal, it will not make any, the initial study revealed that even if you use the veteran preference schedule, it will not give a big dent in terms of making these JOs and COS be able to get the eligibility. That's why our team has to go back and recalibrate and how to address this, Your Honor.
So are you saying na baliwala po itong memo ninyo na sinasabi pag 15 years and above, 10 points ang ibibigay sa preference, tapos yung 10 to 15 years in service, 7 points. Wala na lahat yun?
Your Honor,
Kasi inaasahan ng tao yun eh. Pati ako, inaasahan ko yun eh.
Your Honor, what they did was to simulate if we will use that as a benchmark. But apparently, the result did not yield to increase in terms of making these people eligible.
I see. Perhaps you can give me an updated report on that, because we are forever
Yes, Your
being
Honor.
challenged in government as being the worst offender of contractual laws, di ba? Parati naman sinasabi, ang pinakamaraming endo gobyerno. Bakit sinisita yung pribadong sektor?
Yes, Your Honor. But just to let you know, Your Honor, that the most, in terms of working in government, it's the local government units comprising about 74%, Your Honor.
Yes, I'm fully aware of that. I was
Yes.
a governor for a long time.
Yes,
And
yes.
this has a great deal to do with the PS cap imposed
Yes,
different levels of local governance. So
yes,
pinapalusot
Your
na lang sa
Honor.
MOOE at kung saan-saan para lang makaahon. Lalong-lalo na ngayon dahil napakarami talagang nawalan ng trabaho.
Opo, opo.
Okay,
Yes,
so
Your Honor.
may I have a brief on that? Because I don't quite understand. You issued the memo and now you're saying that that memo is no good. It was also likewise proposed in the memo that the DBM explore the proposal to defund all unfilled positions by 2022 na after 2 years from notice to fill up at wala pa nangyayari, i-abolish na yung unfilled plantilla. Ngayon, alam natin halimbawa yung DOH at yung mga ospital, tapos yung DepEd pa, ang laki-laki pa ng issue dyan. And these are very, very important and pivotal positions during the pandemic. Are there any plans to undertake this? O katulad nung sinasabing gobyernong Endo, talagang we've reversed on this memo once again?
Okay. Just to again emphasize, Your Honor, that in 2020, DBM asserted that since the JOs and the contract of services are not within the coverage of the Civil Service Commission, if you would note the two issuances of a joint memorandum circular for the extension of ENDO until the 2022 has been signed by DBM and COA. And so from our end, as I said, yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And then
maybe you can
yes, go ahead.
give us a brief on that because we understand that in fact JO casual are not permanent employees of the government and cannot be under the purview of the civil service. However, you did discuss it in your office memo because you could give them points, no? You can give them preference ratings under the CSC. So
Yeah.
in that regard, they still fall under your jurisdiction, di ba?
Just to clarify, Your Honor, casuals and contractuals are part of what we call the non-career positions in government, and so therefore they're considered under the coverage of the Civil Service Commission. The difference is that for casuals,
said that they're not included under the COA and the DBM.
yes, Your Honor, they're not included. The casuals and contractuals are still under the coverage of the Civil Service Commission. The only difference, Your Honor, is that for contractual and casuals, their their appointment is renewed every year. And then the contractuals are based on, it's a project based, so it's a term base for them.
Yes,
But
I
they
know that.
receive, yeah, and then they receive the same benefits like that of a permanent employees in government.
Yes, that's right. Whereas JOs are different. I think Commissioner Sada wanted to help us out here. Yes, you're recognized, Commissioner Eileen.
Thank you, Senator. Good morning po. Yes, it has been a concern really that we require private sector to put an end to ENDO. But unfortunately, tayo ho sa gobyerno, marami pa rin job orders sa COS. So we wrote a memo as well to the Office of Chair for our proposal. And as I'm hearing the discussion now, if we have exempted, probably the commission may study this, Senator. I'm just thinking aloud here po, no, as I'm hearing the discussion.
Yes.
If we have granted magna cum laude, summa cum laude, eligibility, baka ho pwedeng pag-aralan that we exempt the JOs, especially for those who have, let's say, X number of years in service, if they are only going to work in the office concerned where they are. But if they will apply to another government agency, baka yun ho ang pwedeng
Yes, that's right. If it's Yes, if it's a similar job or salary grade to the one that they've already been working, baka naman pwede na sila dyan. Commissioner Bala, Chairwoman Bala, is that part of the
Yes.
study so that we can move forward on this forever problem?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. One, I just wanted to clarify what Commissioner Lizada said about the magna cum laude, the graduates with honor students. This is by virtue, Your Honor, of a presidential decree during your father's time when president. So it is by virtue of a law. And so therefore, we cannot just grant or follow that kind of pattern, Your Honor, because everything is by virtue of a law. But as mentioned earlier, we are studying what are the different options that the Commission can undertake. If there's a need for a legislation, then that can be part of the recommendation that we will undertake for the
I think
purpose.
that's the precise reason you're here in the Senate, because
Yes.
all the legislators are present to
Yes.
help you.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
have not so far heard any recommendations referring to this forever endo from the CSC. Sana magawa na natin ang paraan yan sa lalong madaling panahon. Lalong-lalo na ngayon, nang nangangailangan talaga ang gobyerno na magagaling at tapat na mga kawani. Okay, the other question was defunding the unfilled position after a period of 2 years. I think that was also in the memo. Any progress on that score? It's been a problem year on year. How many unfilled positions are there today? Because we heard dreadful numbers from the DOH, for example, when in fact their participation is essential to overcoming the greater ills of the pandemic.
Okay, Your Honor, based on our data, there are about 200,000 plus vacant positions. And just to let you know, this is the position that we gathered from DBM, that for unfilled positions that remain unfilled, that adopted a policy to release only 30% of the budget allocated for these unfilled positions. The full amount is released only after the said positions are filled up. So this is what they have taken, Your Honor, as a response to the positions that have not been filled for a number of years.
May I request from the CSC the breakdown? 200,000 is an overwhelming number. We'd like to see the profile
Yes,
of
yes.
those unfilled
Yes,
positions.
yes, Your Honor. We will be ready to share with you the
The 30
unfilled positions.
I'm sorry, the 30% of budget to be released, this covers as well the hospitals, DepEd, military, the PNP, and constitutional commissions, or are they as usual exempt?
The one that has been mentioned, Your Honor, is I think these are exempted when it comes to the medical practitioners and also for the military and the uniformed personnel.
Yeah, kaya nga, yung mga yan, 'di ba, they get the budget for plantilla regardless of whether the positions are filled or unfilled. To which therefore does your 30% release refer to? Kung hindi sila kasali, everybody else, ganun ba 'yon?
I think that's the DBM policy, Your Honor, yes.
Yes, I'm just clarifying. I didn't quite understand yung 30% lang ang i-release. That's for everyone else or that's for those for the hospitals and DepEd? We're very, very worried about the hospitals and DepEd as you can
They're exempted, Your Honor. Yeah, they're exempted, Your Honor. For the medical hospitals. So the 30% is for other agencies.
For all others, yung pumupunta sa miscellaneous personal benefit fund dati. Hindi na 100%
Yes,
ilalagay
yes.
sa MPBEF. Kundi 30% na lamang. Tama ba yun?
Opo. Yun lang yung nire-release nila sa mga agencies, Your Honor. But once the vacancies are filled up, they can request the DBM to release to fund this newly filled up position.
So you're saying that the national government, at least with regard to plantilla and similar positions, has a savings of 200,000 employees from unfilled positions?
Yes, Your Honor. That's the implication.
Yun na nga, because we always declare at the end of the year, overtime, hazard pay, performance bonuses, additional bonus. Year on year naman, rinirelease si Presidente yan, di ba? At the end of the year.
Mm-mm.
So actually, lumolobo yung ating mga bonuses. Pero hindi naman nag-hire ng karampatang tauhan. Tama ba yun? What is the position of the CSC on suggestions that we just abolish unfilled vacancies? We abolish the plantilla positions after 2 years na unfilled pa rin, except for the highly technical and highly skilled. Okay ba kayo doon? I-abolish na lang yung unfilled?
Yung unfilled positions?
Yeah, because
siguro,
2 years have passed, they've still not been able to fill them up. Surely they should simply be abolished.
Okay. Initially, Your Honor,
Kasi
my take on
30%, malaki pa yon. Tapos yung, ilan ba yun? Yung sa DOH, 17,000 na hindi napipilapan at ayaw ng nurse sa sahod dito. Yung mga ganon, hindi ba dapat tanggalin na yun or else take some very serious remedial measures like offering our nurses more proper and competitive salaries?
Okay. Ako, Your Honor, I think DBM should revisit, their policy about position classification to really suit the requirements of the agencies. Because if you would note, if these were the positions that they have created for the purpose and DBM approved the same, then they should need to revisit all these things, Your Honor. Because you see, it's the DBM that has the mandate when it comes to organizational structuring and also the corresponding human resource complement for each agency.
It's curious because DBM is saying that civil service is the one more stringent about this. Suggest that you both sit down and come up with a proper policy because this can't go on even at 30%. Sayang pera, di ba? At kawawa naman yung mga tao.
Just to let you know, Your Honor, that it used to be under the mandate of the civil service. It was supposed to be in charge of compensation and classification, but
yes, that's right.
And then this was taken over by them by virtue of the law on salary standardization. So our role, Your Honor, is just to set the qualification standards for the positions that have been created and approved by DBM.
Are you saying that it should be better placed under the civil service? I'm fine with it. You're here in the legislature. We're listening to all your recommendations in aid of legislation.
In fact, Your Honor, when there was the discussion about the second salary standardization sometime when I was new with the commission, that was our position, Your Honor, to take it back.
Okay, maybe you can dig up those old files and show them to me and let's see if they're still cogent in the present day.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor, for supporting Civil Service Commission.
Okay, I think I have a question here about the COA findings. This is the same old stuff, the PPE accounts, but they're very large. This is the problem. There's still a 735 million that keeps recurring in your COA. Has any effort been made to settle this very large amount?
Yes, Your Honor, we are now we are now trying to reconcile all the data from all over the Philippines, in other regional offices because we are having 16 regional offices, Your Honor. So
yes, but even so, this is a recurring problem, di ba? Actually, this is a very common problem in old government offices. But ngayon na naghahanap tayo ng pera para sa bakuna, para sa test kit, para sa remdesivir at tocilizumab, talaga naman malaking halaga ang 735 million.
Yes. So actually, Your Honor, our office is now.
Chairwoman.
Yeah, we are now conducting the actual, inventory, all of this to be able to reconcile, Your Honor.
So wala pa.
Ongoing, Your Honor. And
Okay.
we are,
Ang problema na to, sana we'd be a little bit more proactive here. It's an
Yes.
old problem and it could help us a great deal.
yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Yeah, let's speed that up, please, just as we need to speed up the
Mhm.
online exams and so on. There's a continuing issue because now the e-vape law is actually in plenary and up for a vote. May we ask from the chairman the position of the CSC board regarding the DOH JMC of 2010? I think we received the timeline of the events as well as Congress. And you, I think, have admitted, is this correct, that a Bloomberg donation was actually given to the civil service?
Yes, Your Honor. And
How much was given?
Your
And
Honor,
how much was given?
I don't have the records right now, Your Honor, but we will provide you with the information.
And
Unless
to what
Assistant
purpose?
Commissioner Ronquillo, Commissioner Ronquillo, if you may, Senator, if we can ask her to ask him to. Okay, thank
Mr.
you.
Ronquillo, please.
Good morning, Madam Senator. Good morning, everyone. I think the records of the donation coming from Bloomberg has been kept by our OFAM. If maybe, Madam
I
Chair,
think these are matters of public record. This is not a private donation to a secret individual.
yes, Madam Chair, but I just want to be very accurate about the figures. So
So
our OFAM is around the Office for Financial and Asset Management. So it was treated like an ordinary fund that was given to us. It's managed by our Office for Financial and
yes,
Asset
precisely
Management.
because it was precisely because it becomes part of your own office's
Yes.
general fund. I think we have a right to know how much was provided.
Yes,
Nobody knows
Madam Chair.
magkano.
Um,
Walang may alam magkano ang binigay ng Bloomberg.
Okay.
Pero alam niyo na may binigay. Bakit ganun?
Madam Chair. Meron po, Madam Senator. I'm just concerned about the accuracy of the figures.
O
That's why I
sige.
want.
Your Honor, if you
Paano natin
don't
malalaman
mind,
yan? Kasi, syempre,
we have
donation
the data.
donation to government has to be transparent also.
Yes.
Yes, it is, Madam
Yes.
But you
Senator.
refuse to reveal it.
Yes.
Your Honor, we have the data. It's just that I
Okay.
don't have with me. Yeah.
All right, we can bring it up
We will
next
send it.
time.
We will send it to you.
Okay, pending the submission of the precise amount, may we know what it was for?
As Comariel.
Bloomberg
Yes,
donate
Madam
to the
Senator.
civil service?
Yeah, the assistance from Bloomberg was actually used for learning and development programs on tobacco control policies that were adopted by the Commission. And these L&D programs were made available for the entire bureaucracy,
Was
Madam
this
Senator.
relevant to the civil service? I was just curious. We are all very concerned about health and wellness, but why
Yes.
did we pick out tobacco? What about alcohol? Sugar? What about trans fats? Exercise and preventive medicine? I'm just curious why tobacco was targeted.
Madam Senator, at the time, uh, there was there was a concern about the health hazard being posed by not only tobacco consumption but also by the secondhand smoke, which is rampant.
Yes, we
Actually,
understand
every
that.
day.
Yes, but why did you pick out tobacco? What about the other hazards to health and wellness?
Okay, Madam Chair, I think at the time the JMC with the DOH was issued, it actually coincided with the World No Tobacco Day, where our country was actually participating. And I think our government has adopted a whole of government approach in solving our problems on tobacco. And
Are we saying, therefore, are we saying that former chairs Duque's unauthorized entry into a JMC stands? It's still in force and effect through the entire civil service. Is that correct? Despite the fact that there's clearly no resolution authorizing such.
Madam Chair, it is still a legal issue that is being resolved within the commission at the moment, because as we have explained to the commission
Hindi ba
when we were
2010
asked
pa
about
to? Hindi ba 2010 pa to? Bakit legal issue pa rin siya? 11
Madam
years
Chair,
na, hindi pa
yes,
nasisettle.
because the issue posed, Madam Senator,
Okay.
is whether Chair Duque was authorized by the commission at the time to enter into that JMC with the DOH. Yes, there was no resolution.
I think it's fairly clear that no resolution was provided.
Yes,
There's no
Madam.
authority.
Yes, Madam Senator, but based on the records, the initiative to enter into the JMC actually came from one of the commissioners at the time. And it was Chair Duque who entered into the JMC. Apparently, the two members of the commission, which were the only members of the commission at the time, consented to the JMC with the DOH. And
Okay,
so
this
taking
is
that
all
into
a long
account,
time ago. Chairwoman Bala, surely we should cancel this. Surely the commission and bank should just outvote this JMC, which is unauthorized and long past. Any opinions? 11 years running and we're still upholding a questionable JMC. We will. This is also a. Is this also a forever JMC? I'm a little bit lost.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. One, we are still studying this, and the commission cannot unilaterally
Madam
say that this.
Chairperson, ang dami-dami naman ninyong ini-study. 3 taon na po.
Your Honor, one, this joint memorandum circular is signed between the Civil Service Commission and the Department of Health, Your Honor. And so therefore, we should wanted to make sure that both agencies would also agree on how to approach this JMC. And just to emphasize that this
In the span of 11 years, both agencies involving identical lead personalities have not come to an agreement.
Your Honor, this issue came into being only last year. If I do remember, this was not an issue that was raised to us. If there were instances before, but this were already addressed, Your Honor. But it was only last year when this was again brought to the attention of the commission.
If you will, therefore, Chairperson Bala, submit a brief and your opinion as to how to move forward with this. Dapat i-cancel na siya o kung ano. Or if in fact, we should apply this sum from Bloomberg, mysteriously donated without any quantum indicated, for an overarching and comprehensive wellness effort for all public employees, diba? Not only focusing tobacco, but in this period of the pandemic, all aspects of well-being, hindi po ba?
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor. Just to emphasize what the reason why I'm not sure because Com Lisada and I were not yet in the commission at the time, but there was there is a treaty that the Philippines signed, and this is about the ASCOM Ariel was now the title of that treaty that the Philippines signed.
Yes, Madam Chair. Madam Senator, it's the Framework Convention on Tobacco Control.
Yes, I'm very
Okay.
familiar. That's fine. Yes, I'm very familiar, but it makes no impositions on the civil service of any country.
Mm-mm.
Yes, so I would just like a briefer on that, please.
Yes.
Since you say that the issue was long past and merely inherited by yourselves, nevertheless, we have to be updated on the development so that this is finally put to rest. Okay, so having spoken about wellness and health concerns for our public employees, may I finally ask, what role has the CSC played in protecting and immunizing, perhaps vaccinating our civil service employees?
The role of the civil service, Your Honor, when it comes to the vaccination.
Have you undertaken any vaccinations, for example, within the office and encourage
Yes.
others? Because I looked at all your webinars, they're pretty much business as usual. There's very little
Okay.
acknowledgement of the health risk posed to many of our government employees who
Okay.
are, in one form or another, frontliners.
Okay. One, Your Honor, based on our records as of this moment, accordingly, almost 80% of our employees are full vaccinated. Second, when it comes
But
to
these are
about
only in the office, di ba? Sa opisina lang ninyo?
Your Honor,
Sa opisina pa lang ninyo, paano lahat ng empleyado ng gobyerno? Halimbawa,
okay.
yung mga nurse, yung mga health workers, yung mga teacher. Kasi everybody is calling for vaccination mandates throughout the world.
Okay.
This has been spearheaded in many cases by the employees and government employees unions and the civil service. And yet in the Philippines, we haven't heard the civil service say very much.
Okay, what we have done, Your Honor, is we have conducted 4 town hall meetings on vaccination. It's a campaign for government service to undertake and accept a vaccination program for COVID-19. But when it comes to the actual vaccination program, Your Honor, I think they're categorized, especially for the remember, they have the priority 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they're number 4 in the priority list, Your Honor. But I think a number of agencies have already been working with the local government units because this is the local government units are the ones tasked to administer the vaccination program nationwide, Your Honor.
Okay, but given the JMC of CSC and DOH and your unique and long-standing relationship, perhaps we can push a little harder because you have direct access to all our government employees, and we really need to protect and defend them.
Yes, Your Honor.
I haven't heard of any particular preventive health measures. I haven't heard of any immunity or natural immunity efforts. Sana gampanan naman natin yan. If we're so concerned about the ills of tobacco, we should be even more panicky about COVID-19.
We are taking note of your suggestions, Your Honor.
I have no further questions aside from the previous questions already about the cancellations of licensure exams and the concern that teachers and health workers will have a difficult time. Yes, we recognize the majority leader. Senator Subiri, is there anything we need to say to the civil service?
No, not at all. I'm just here to support the measures of the good chairperson, Ma'am Amy, and of course the Civil Service Commission. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Thank you for your service po.
Yes, I'm enjoining them to start activating what may end up being vaccine mandates for all our public employees para mauna naman yung ating frontliners sa gobyerno.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you. I've had the opportunity of working with the Civil Service Commission in the passing of the Ease of Doing Business Act. And I'd just like to put on record that the men and women of the civil service are doing a great job. Saludo po ako sa inyo and keep up the good work. Nandiyan si Chairperson, Ma'am. Magandang umaga po. So, I'm just here to support Ma'am Amy.
Thank you very much. There have been several suggestions for remedial legislation. I'm sure the majority leader will help us. Yung problema natin ng walang kamatayang endo sa gobyerno, yung mga JO na 15 years na, wala pang napapalang civil service eligibility, at saka yung 200,000 unfilled positions. Maybe we can start working on that. And with the support of our majority leader, I am certain that that will be passed right away. Thank you very much. I think we're almost
Thank you,
at the
Majority
end.
Leader. Thank you, Madam Amy. Your wish is my command. Basta civil service.
Okay,
Thank
so
you. Thank you.
await
God bless.
Thank you so
recommendations of civil service. And if there are no objections, do we pass their budget, Migs, at the subcommittee level?
Absolutely, absolutely, Madam Chair. I so move that the budget of the Civil Service Commission be referred to plenary. Congratulations to the men and women of the Civil Service Commission.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
thank you.
And please don't
Thank you.
forget to submit everything so that there are not too many questions. Maraming salamat.
Okay.
Thanks, Madjo.
Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner. Thanks, Director.
Thank you.
Maraming salamat.
Thank you po.
Thank you, thank you po. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you,
Okay,
Your
we'll
Honor.
await, including your recommendation. Salamat po.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you to everyone. Have a great day.